big worry here in New York is Eli Manning. How much of what we saw or didn't see during preseason, Mark, is going to translate into the season? Is Eli in trouble in terms of coming into the season and really, really struggling?
Well, I don't know if he's in trouble. There is cause for concern, of course. I mean, in preseason, it's basically, as you guys know, it's your warm-up for regular season. If you're not sharp, you're struggling, not just the quarterback position, but, with the whole offense, you have some cause to worry a little bit because you want momentum. You want to finish, especially that third preseason game, maybe the first series of that fourth, you want to be sharp, and they were not that. It's a new offense. Believe me, guys, know all about learning a new offense and how difficult that is to really feel like you're dialed in that first year of that offense. So, yeah, there's reason for concern.
What's a bigger concern to you, learning the new offense or having enough talent to have that offense flourish?
Well, I tell you, talent would concern me the most. Because you'll eventually learn the offense. You'll eventually get comfortable. The terminology, the checks, the reads, how, the offensive coordinator wants things done, that will come. But if you don't have, a fair amount of talent around you, it doesn't matter what offense you've been in or how long you've been in it. You need guys around you. The quarterback position is very dependent. You're dependent on, quality receivers, a strong offensive line, a solid running game. So, yeah, you'd rather have talent. That's most important.
Now, Mark, your colleague Steve Young has come on with us and said it will take a full year for Eli Manning to master this offense. Do you agree? Will it take that long?
I completely agree with Steve Young. I was in a situation with the Washington Redskins. We've been with, after my first year with Joe Gibbs, we brought in Al Saunders, who brought in the Kansas City offense that he had while he was coordinator there and a position coach. And listen, it took some time. We were running quite a few new concepts and new terminology. The volume was so much greater, and it really took me a year to feel comfortable with, just getting in the huddle, calling the play. Sorry, guys, I'm in the airport.
That's all right. I hope you're not delayed.
It does. No, I'll be all right. It does take some time, but I completely agree with Steve Young.
So if it's going to take the full year, then I guess the Giants have hit the reset button. So unless they go an abysmal 2-14, I guess everything is safe moving forward. You don't bring in a rookie offensive coordinator who never called plays in the NFL before to force a system down Eli's throat that's going to take a year to adjust and bang the coach for going 6-10, right?
Well, I'm not ready to write off the year, and I tell you, it took me a year to get comfortable. I still won some football games with that system and was still, to a degree, pretty efficient. But as far as complete comfort level, it did take a whole season. Now, Eli's a good quarterback. 2 Super Bowl championships. I mean, he's, in my opinion, he's one of the best in the business, regardless of what happened last year. And if there is a quarterback that can adjust and that can learn quickly, it's him. The question is the guys around him. Will he get on the same page? Will they get comfortable in that offense? It will take time, but it doesn't mean that they can't win football games, guys.
Mark Brunell joins us here on the Michael Kay Show. What's your take on what you've seen of Geno so far in the preseason, what you saw of him at the end of the year?
He played better at the end of the year. I thought in preseason he was more decisive. It seems to me, just the games that I've watched, that he is developing. I believe he's well coached. And this is what it comes down to, for Geno. He has to be able to take care of the ball. If I'm not mistaken, he had 21 interceptions last year, fumbled it 4 times. Listen, it doesn't matter how decisive you are. You've got to take care of the ball. And if he'll do that, he'll continue to work, get comfortable in the system, and utilize the guys around him. I think he'll be he'll be fine. He needs to be better, but it really comes down to taking care of that football and making good decisions when you have it in your hand.
Well, Rex, and he loves to motivate quarterbacks. He will not name Geno the starter for the year. It looks like it's going to go week to week. Will that work as motivation for Geno, or do you think he might appreciate the support of knowing that his coach believes in him and name him the starter for the season?
Listen, I would have a tough time with that personally. And listen, if I'm your starter, name me your starter. I do not want a week-to-week thing. That would be you never want to play this game looking over your shoulder. You don't want to, play quarterback position. It's hard enough as it is without having to, look and, with Michael Vick behind you warming up, and it's obviously a vet who's had so much success in this league. So I would be uncomfortable with that. Maybe Rex knows something about Geno Smith that we don't. Maybe he's he's mentally strong. Maybe he's tough enough to handle that kind of approach, but it remains to be seen. That would be a tough one for me, though, guys.
Mark, are you surprised that Mark Sanchez has adapted so quickly to Chip Kelly's offense? He had an unbelievable preseason, and there was some talk about maybe the Rams acquiring him, reuniting him with Schottenheimer. Are you surprised that he adapted that quickly?
I'm not surprised. One, that Chip Kelly, look what he did with Nick Foles. And two, sometimes guys just need a fresh start. And Mark Sanchez is a quarterback that just needed to get a fresh start, a new environment, a new team, new coaches, different, players around him. So he certainly has benefited from that, being with the Eagles. I'm not surprised by it. He's a hardworking young man and wants to be very good and does everything he can to be the best he can be. He had a couple good years with the Jets and didn't have a very good supporting cast. Now, he didn't help himself either, but it was good for Mark to get to the Eagles.
Was he handled properly, you think, by the Jets?
Well, I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. I didn't like him last year playing in that fourth preseason game. He would have been the starter, and he gets hurt in that fourth preseason game, I believe in the fourth quarter. I didn't understand that. You simply just don't put guys that are going to go to war for you during the season, especially your potential starting quarterback. You don't put him in there in the fourth quarter in the fourth preseason game. I think I have my facts correct, guys, but that one I don't believe he wasn't handled correctly at all. That one shocked me, actually.